The Titanic was neither the fastest nor the most durable ship of its time. Surprisingly, its sinking was not even the worst maritime disaster in history. However, it became iconic due to several unique factors. It sank during its maiden voyage after a collision with an iceberg in the cold waters of the North Atlantic, and it had many notable figures on board. Today, I'm going to guide you through some of the mysteries and theories surrounding the Titanic. Before we begin, don't forget to hit and subscribe to the channel. Number 1. The Titanic and Olympic swap theory. The Titanic was almost identical to her sister ship, the Olympic, which was damaged after colliding with a British warship, the HMS Hawke, in 1911. Proponents of the swap theory argue that the White Star Line deliberately swapped the two ships with the intention of sinking the Titanic, actually the damaged Olympic, to claim a large insurance payout worth $750,000. Proponents cite structural similarities, minor discrepancies between the two ships, and last-minute passenger cancellations as evidence. However, skeptics point out that such an exchange required the secrecy of thousands of workers, making it almost impossible to carry out without someone revealing the truth. Number 2. Missing binoculars. A key to disaster? A forgotten key may have been one of the Titanic's greatest oversights. David Blair, a second officer reassigned before the voyage, accidentally kept the key to a locker containing binoculars meant for the lookouts. Without binoculars, the crew had to rely solely on their vision, which proved ineffective in spotting the iceberg on a calm, clear night with no visible waves to highlight its presence. Historians often wonder if the disaster could have been averted had the binoculars been available, raising questions about how a seemingly minor oversight played a major role in the tragedy. Number 3. Ignored iceberg warnings. On the night of the sinking, Titanic received multiple warnings about icebergs ahead. Yet Captain Smith decided to maintain the ship's speed. Many believe this was due to pressure from the White Star Line to arrive in New York faster than expected, or perhaps the confidence that Titanic was unsinkable. The decision not to reduce speed, despite repeated warnings, remains one of the greatest mysteries. Did Captain Smith underestimate the danger, or were there other reasons behind his decision? Number 4. The role of the Californian. The SS Californian was within visual range of the Titanic on the night of the sinking, yet failed to respond to distress signals. The ship's radio operator had gone to bed, and the crew misinterpreted the Titanic's rockets as celebratory fireworks. To this day, the Californian's actions, or lack thereof, are debated. Could they have saved more lives if they had understood the situation sooner? Some even speculate there was a deliberate cover-up to hide the Californian's potential negligence. Number 5. Miscommunication between telegraph operators. Despite receiving warnings of icebergs, the Titanic's telegraph operators were preoccupied with sending personal messages from passengers. Some critical iceberg alerts might not have been relayed to the bridge. Additionally, confusion and misinterpretation of urgency could have played a role in the disaster. The chaotic communication between ships and the Titanic raises questions about how a few missed signals might have changed everything. Number 6. The mysterious third ship. Many believe there was a third ship near the Titanic during its distress, possibly the Norwegian vessel Samson. According to this theory, the Samson was involved in illegal seal hunting and, fearing prosecution, misinterpreted the Titanic's flares as a warning and sailed away. If this account is true, it means another potential rescuer was close by but did not act. This possibility has added to the intrigue and mystery of that fateful night. Number 7. The influence of a rare supermoon. A rare supermoon in January 1912 may have played a hidden role in the Titanic's fate. This celestial event caused exceptionally high tides, which possibly dislodged icebergs and pushed them further south into shipping lanes, creating the hazardous conditions that the Titanic encountered. While it might not have been a direct cause of the disaster, the moon's gravitational pull could have indirectly set the stage for the events of April 15, 1912. Number 8. Were the Titanic's flares mistaken for stars? During the night, crew members on the SS Californian saw flares but dismissed them as ordinary or celebratory signals. A strange visual effect caused by atmospheric conditions might have obscured their view of the Titanic's distress signals, leading to a tragic misinterpretation. Could this visual confusion have prevented a timely rescue? This question remains a poignant part of the disaster's legacy. Number 9. Captain Smith's controversial actions. Captain Edward Smith's actions have been under scrutiny ever since the sinking. Some reports claim he stayed calm and collected, while others suggest he may have panicked, leading to inefficient rescue efforts. His decision not to slow down after iceberg warnings and allowing lifeboats to leave half-empty contribute to the debate. Was he a hero who went down with his ship, or were his decisions a result of poor judgment under pressure? Number 10. Why so few lifeboats? The Titanic carried only enough lifeboats for about a third of those on board, despite regulations allowing for fewer. The reasoning was that lifeboats were primarily for ferrying passengers to rescue ships, rather than accommodating everyone. This decision has been criticized as overly confident, reflecting the widespread belief that the Titanic was unsinkable. Why wasn't there more foresight in ensuring enough lifeboats for everyone? Some say it was a design choice to avoid cluttering the decks and maintain the ship's aesthetic. Number 11. Premonitions of disaster. There are accounts of passengers experiencing strange premonitions before boarding the Titanic, such as vivid dreams or feelings of unease. Perhaps the most eerie example is Morgan Robertson's 1898 novella, Futility, which described a massive ocean liner named Titan that hit an iceberg on its maiden voyage. These unsettling coincidences have fueled speculation that some sort of dark premonition surrounded the ship's maiden voyage. Number 12. Titanic's flawed compartment design. The Titanic's compartment design was meant to make it unsinkable, but it ultimately contributed to its sinking. The bulkheads, or watertight compartments, were not sealed at the top, allowing water to flow from one compartment to another after the hull was breached. This fatal flaw caused the ship to flood progressively and sink. Was this an engineering oversight or a compromise for comfort and luxury over safety? Number 13. The pursuit of the Blue Rebond. The Blue Rebond was a coveted award for the fastest transatlantic crossing, and there was pressure for the Titanic to perform well on its maiden voyage. This competition may have contributed to the decision to maintain speed, even with ice warnings. Did this pursuit of prestige lead to reckless decision-making? The role of commercial pressure in the disaster remains a complex issue. Number 14. Optical illusions and weather phenomena. A phenomenon called Fata Morgana might have played a role in the Titanic disaster. This rare optical illusion, created by atmospheric conditions, could distort the horizon, making objects appear further away or entirely different from what they were. Some suggest that this illusion could have prevented the crew from seeing the iceberg in time. Could a natural mirage have contributed to one of history's greatest maritime disasters? Number 15. Post-traumatic stress and tragic outcomes. The trauma from the Titanic disaster affected survivors in profound ways. Frederick Fleet, the lookout who spotted the iceberg, was one of several survivors who took their own lives years later, haunted by the memories. The psychological scars endured by those who lived through the sinking provide a somber reminder of the lasting impact of such tragedies. How many untold stories of suffering and mental anguish are still out there, lost to time? The mysteries surrounding the Titanic have kept people intrigued for over a century, from conspiracy theories to tales of premonition. Each of these elements adds a layer of depth to the story of a ship that was said to be unsinkable, but met with a fate that continues to capture imaginations worldwide. If you enjoyed exploring these mysteries, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth explorations of history's greatest enigmas.